Sheraton presents Theater in the Air.
This Olympic moment is brought to you by Federal Express, the official air express carrier of the 1988 Olympic Games.
October 1964, the opening day ceremonies of the Tokyo Olympic Games. Men and women athletes from 94 countries pass in review. Given the honor of carrying the flag for the United States, 32-year-old Parry O'Brien. This will be his fourth and last Olympic competition. Today, he is still considered by many the greatest shot put champion of all time.
Some other people have surpassed my marks, but I don't think to date anybody has surpassed my record of wins and achievement in the event. Not to beat my own drum, but I'd like to say with all due respect, I can bow out comfortably and not look back too much with any envy.
Helsinki, 1952. 20-year-old Parry O'Brien will compete in his first Olympic competition. He is not the favorite to win. His teammate Jim Fuchs is the world record holder and is expected to win the gold medal. O'Brien's other teammate Darrell Hooper is also given a good chance. Jim Fuchs' best effort. 55 feet, 11 3/4 inches. Darrell Hooper. 57 feet, 3/4 of an inch. Parry O'Brien. 57 feet, 1 1/2 inches. Parry O'Brien wins the Olympic gold medal by 3/4 of an inch.
Well, it was a great experience for me. They play the national anthem for the winners that have taken first, second, and third. Consequently, we swept the event. So we had the pleasure of hearing our national anthem 3 times. And all the Americans began to hum and sing the words to our anthem. There were about 600, 700 Americans there, and the foreign people picked up the melody and tune, and it was very gratifying for me to hear that.
Melbourne, 1956. 24-year-old Parry O'Brien will try to duplicate his feat of 4 years before. Only one other time has anyone won the shot put gold medal twice in succession. Ralph Rose of the United States won both the 1904 and 1908 gold medals. Parry O'Brien gets off a toss of 60 feet, 11 1/8 inches. It is good enough to win a second gold medal. 4 years later at the Rome Games, Parry O'Brien wins the silver medal, and then at the Tokyo 1964 Games at the age of 32, he finishes 4th. His lifetime marks are incredible. At one point during his career, he won 116 straight competitions.
My distances have been surpassed. My ability to win the big ones and longevity, I don't think, are challenged currently. The 2 biggest Olympic thrills I've had have been the first gold medal in Helsinki and carrying the U.S. flag into Olympic Stadium in 1964 in Tokyo, Japan. I would like to relive that carrying the flag in. That was a big moment in my athletic career.
When you send a package to Europe, do you get that sinking feeling that it could be anywhere? Here, there, out of your hands, out of your control, lost? Well, Federal Express goes to Europe. We make sending a package there as easy and reliable as it is here, because Federal tracks your package with computerized scanners. Federal Express, 2-day service to the major cities in Europe. Why fool around with anyone else?
We made it! Our first real deal!
Now if we can just make our flight.
Oh, you're hot, you're hot.
Ages, we got red hot cars, red hot cars. We got a red hot crew, we got a red hot crew. We got super value rates, we try harder too. Ages, we're red hot for you.
And how good a deal did we get on that car?
When you're hot, you're hot.
Avis, red hot.
Moscow, 1980. The opening day ceremonies of the 22nd Olympiad of the modern era. Given the honor of carrying the flag for the Cuban team, is 28-year-old heavyweight boxer Teofilo Stevenson. Here in Moscow, Stevenson will attempt to become the only boxer in Olympic history to win 3 successive gold medals in the heavyweight division. 8 years earlier, at the 1972 Munich Games, 20-year-old Teofilo Stevenson competed in his first Olympics. In a preliminary round, Stevenson, in the all-red uniform, faced Dwayne Bobbick of the United States. Earlier, Bobbick had said he would win the Olympic gold medal and go on to become the heavyweight champion of the world. In the early moments, Bobbick is aggressive and stays even with Stevenson, who is said to be one of the strongest punchers to ever compete in the Olympic Games. Stevenson sends Bobbick to the canvas. Bobbick gets up. Later in the third round, Stevenson gives Bobbick a terrible beating. Bobbick goes down for the second time. The bout is stopped, and Stevenson goes on to win the gold medal. 4 years later, at the 1976 Montreal Olympics, Stevenson meets Mircea Seaman of Romania for the gold medal. Stevenson is ahead on points, with less than a minute to go in the fight. Seaman gets to his feet, but he is staggering. A towel is thrown in from Seaman's corner. The fight is over. With this victory, Teofilo Stevenson becomes the only man to win the heavyweight boxing gold medal twice. After the Games, he announces that he will make the attempt for an unprecedented third gold medal at the 1980 Moscow Games. Now here in Moscow, Stevenson continues his unbroken string of Olympic victories and goes on to win his third gold medal by defeating Pyotr Zayev of the Soviet Union. Teofilo Stevenson of Cuba, the only man in Olympic history to win the heavyweight boxing gold medal 3 times.
London, 1948. The Olympic Games are renewed after a 12-year moratorium because of World War II. 38-year-old Captain Karoli Takacs is a member of the Hungarian team. His performance would be one of the most dramatic in the history of the Olympic Games. Takacs was one of the finest pistol shooters in the world. But while on military maneuvers, a grenade exploded in his right hand. His hand had to be amputated. Nevertheless, during World War II, he remained on active duty with the Hungarian army. Now, here in London, Captain Karoli Takacs will attempt to fulfill the dream that he had before his accident, to win an Olympic gold medal. When the rapid-fire pistol shooting championship was over, Captain Karoli Takacs stood atop the victory platform. He had won the gold medal using his left hand.
The American Express card contains a single word that makes every other card seem like just a piece of plastic. Member.
I seem to have lost my wallet.
To us, Stephen Gardner is a member.
Mr. Gardner, I can have a new card for you by tomorrow.
And at American Express, our card members are entitled to a world of privileges.
We lost lost our card, our cash.
Even our passport. You've come to the right place. I can help you.
That's great. That was an easy sale.
No need to wrap it.
I think I can fix it, honey.
That's why I got buyer's assurance.
Hello, American Express.
I left my prescription medicine at home.
Don't worry, Global Assist can help.
Bangkok today. Yeah, I'm packed.
Members carry our promise of respect, recognition, unsurpassed personal service. Membership has its privileges.
Montreal, 1976. The opening day ceremonies of the 21st Olympiad of the modern era. Marching with the team from the Soviet Union, 23-year-old Nikolai Andrianov. 4 years earlier at the Munich Games of 1972, Andrianov won 1 gold, 1 silver, and 1 bronze medal in the gymnastics competition. Here in Montreal, Andrianov is superb. He wins gold medals in the horse vault, the rings, the floor exercise, and the individual all-around championship. In all, Andrianov wins 4 gold, 2 silver, and 1 bronze medal, the greatest performance by a male gymnast at the 1976 Montreal Olympics. July 19, 1980, the opening day ceremonies of the Moscow Olympic Games. 27-year-old Nikolai Andrianov is competing in his 3rd successive Olympiad. If he wins 4 medals here, he will become the greatest male medal winner in Olympic history. When the gymnastics championship gets underway, Andrianov is magnificent. He wins 5 medals, 2 gold, 2 silver, and 1 bronze, as the Soviet Union wins its first men's team championship since the 1956 Melbourne Games. Nikolai Andrianov of the Soviet Union, in 3 Olympiads, the winner of 15 medals, 7 gold, 5 silver, and 3 bronze. Nikolai Andrianov, the greatest male medal winner in Olympic history.
June 16, 1924, the United States team leaves for the Paris Olympic Games. One of the team members, 20-year-old swimmer Johnny Weissmuller. 2 years earlier, he became the first man in history to swim the 100 meters under 1 minute. In Paris, his main opposition will come from his teammate, Duke Kahanamoku, who won the 100-meter gold medal in the 2 previous Olympiads. At the finish, it is Johnny Weissmuller first, Duke Kahanamoku second. Weissmuller went on to win 2 more gold medals, in the 400 meters and as anchorman on the victorious 4x200 relay team. Four years later in Amsterdam, he again won the 100 meters and anchored the gold medal winning relay team. His Olympic career over, Johnny Weissmuller later gained even greater fame in motion pictures. For 16 years, he played the leading role in the Tarzan series. Johnny Weissmuller, the holder of 24 world records. Johnny Weissmuller, the winner of 5 Olympic gold medals. Johnny Weissmuller, voted the greatest swimmer of the first half century.
Some people will tell you that a smile is a little thing. But at Sheraton, it's a smile that says a lot. It's a smile that says, welcome to Sheraton. It's a smile that says, can I get you another cup of coffee? It says, would you like a few more towels? And it's a smile that says, thank you for staying at Sheraton. At Sheraton, we never forget that little things mean a lot.
The good consular and I can usually be found seated at tables on opposite sides of the courtroom, but there's one thing we can get together on. The reason everyone watches Night Court is because it's very funny.
Objection, Vincent. Everyone watches Night Court because they love the people.
Lee, they watch it because it's funny.
John Larroquette, Marky Post, Harry Anderson.
Waiter, table for one.
It's an open and shut case. Night Court people will make you laugh. Now Wednesdays on NBC.
People. Funny. People. Funny.
The next significant moment in Olympic history is brought to you by Omega, the official timekeeper for the 1988 Winter Games and all the Olympics since 1936.
January 29th, 1964, Innsbruck, Austria. More than 1,300 men and women athletes await the opening of the 9th Winter Olympic Games. Two members of the team from France, the Guachel sisters, 19-year-old Christine and 18-year-old Marielle. Before the games are over, the Guachel sisters will take part in two of the most dramatic races in Winter Olympic history. Today, Christine Guachel is married and the mother of 3 children.
Marielle is a year younger than I, and we are not only sisters but dear friends. But still, Marielle has always been a rival. But now I think history has proven that she is the finest woman skier who ever lived.
Marielle, now the mother of 2 children, makes her home in Lyon.
Christine and I and the American girl Jean Sobert were the favorites in the slalom. All 3 of us won important competitions the month before. Christine and I had even greater incentive to win. No French woman had ever won an Olympic gold medal. In the first run, I skied before Christine and Jean Sobert. Sometimes it is an advantage to ski first, sometimes not. I had a perfect run. After the first round, I was first, Christine was second, and Jean Sobert fourth. On the second run, Christine would go out before me.
Christine Guachel's second run is near perfect. She goes into first place. The only one who can defeat her is her sister, Marielle.
I had many thoughts as I awaited the start. I probably would have skied differently if a stranger had been leading instead of my sister Christine. I left the start line with one thought, to not make any mistakes, to make certain of winning one of the medals.
Marielle Guachel is in her final run. Christine Guachel is waiting at the bottom of the course.
Almost as soon as she left the starting line, I knew she was not going to be reckless. Normally, Marielle attacks every gate all the way down the course. There was no question that she skied a different race because I was in front.
At the finish, Marielle trails Christine by 91/100ths of a second. The final placings, Christine Guachel first, Marielle Guachel second, Jean Sobert third.
It was a very happy moment, the victory platform ceremony. I was the first French woman skier to ever win an Olympic gold medal. I stepped to the top of the podium and Marielle gave a loud cheer. The flags were raised and Marielle and I kissed. Then we congratulated Jean Sobert. The 3 of us ran off and I tripped. I felt a little silly, but nothing matters in a moment like this.
2 days later, the giant slalom. Once again, the 3 favorites, the Guachel sisters and Jean Sobert. Each skier gets 1 run down the course. Christine Guachel is the first of the 3 out. The course is a little less than a mile long and has 59 gates. Christine Guachel has a marvelous run. Her time, 1 minute 53 and 11/100ths of a second. She goes into first place. Her lead holds. Now it is Jean Sobert's turn. Like Christine Guachel, Jean Sobert has an amazing run. Incredibly, her time equals Christine Guachel's to the 100th of a second. If no one makes a faster run, for the first time in Olympic alpine history, a gold medal will be shared. Again, the only skier who can beat them is Marielle Guachel.
This time there was no question as to how I would ski the course. As I waited for the countdown, I knew there were only 2 possibilities. Either Christine and Jean Sobert would share the gold medal, or I would win it all by myself.
Marielle Guachel starts down the course. From the beginning, it is obvious that she is attacking with strength and speed that she did not use in a final slalom run a few days before. Halfway down, she is more than a half-second faster than Christine and Jean Salvit. Marielle Guachel has won the race by almost a full second. The sisters Christine and Marielle Guachel, France's only women gold medal winners at the 1964 Innsbruck Olympic Games.
You were miles apart when it began. At times, the distance between you seemed insurmountable. But with the dawn came agreement, and a partnership was born. For this and all your significant moments, Omega.
Pan Am Theater in the Air continues.
A lot of beautiful moments in life have been messed up by lousy photography. But this couldn't happen with the new Nikon N4004. It's an autofocus, autoflash, 35mm SLR that makes it almost impossible to take a bad picture. The N4004. The only mistake you can make is buying something else.
Uncle Henry, I can't wait to see these pictures.
Now, fly Pan Am and get a companion ticket for half price when you buy a Nikon.
This is Switzerland, the natural cheese country. The towering Alps and the mountain streams, the alpine meadowlands and the special breed of Swiss cows, the skills so carefully developed in more than 2,000 years of cheese making, all make Switzerland cheese not just better, but the only cheese of its kind. Emmentaler, the low-sodium Swiss cheese, comes from Switzerland, naturally.
Ticket to the World with Charles Hayde from Hill Street Blues. Geo contributors Lauren Hutton and Pamela Bellwood, and Geo correspondent Mike Saray.
A football game without pads or plays. A soccer match where goals are kicked. The ball is carried, dribbled, punched, but never thrown. 36 athletes, each with the skills to advance the ball or stop an opponent. Australian rules football. A sporting tradition unique to one country and the obsession of one city. Melbourne, Australia. The ball is oblong, the game is played in a grass field with goalposts at each end. Any similarity between American and Australian football ends right there. Down under, it's more of a sport than a business, and the guys that play it are national heroes, as well as the guy next door. Footy, as they call it, says a lot about Australia.
Well, you work to earn a living, but on weekends comes the time you can do whatever turns you on. Get out and clear your mind. Me, I like football, but there's a lot of things around. But when you line them up together, the footy wins hands down. Up there, Casale, in there and fight. Out there and at 'em, show 'em your might. Up there, Casale, don't let 'em in. Fly like an angel, you're out there to win.
Down under, it's win one for Gazali. The legacy of true grit and fierce determination on a playing field that is central to the game and sport in Australia. Melbourne is a rare city of 3 million that can support an entire professional sport of its own. The Hawthorn Hawks are from an upper-class suburb. On autumn Saturdays, stores close at noon, and footy, as they call it, becomes the only game in town. Rivalries run deep between neighborhoods, particularly when a powerhouse like Hawthorn travels across the river to the industrial section of Footscray, home of the Bulldogs, the league's perennial underdogs, until this season.
How are you? Not bad. How you going? I should do all right.
Jimmy Edmonds, captain of the Footscray Bulldogs, is also Footscray's meter reader. A pro since he was 17, the sport has made him famous, but not rich. Like most players, he works a full-time job during the week.
You're going to win? You bet. Put your money on us.
A moral assault is perfectly within the rules. And you can hit him with your shoulder, basically, hit him square in the skull, knock the fella senseless, and the crowds will applaud. Say, terrific bump. That's legal.
Breaking this man's jaw with a hit behind the play is not. And Lee Matthews and violence in football were put on trial. The Hawthorn captain became Australia's first athlete charged with criminal assault during a game.
Magistrate Brian Clother accepted that Matthews' character is impeccable, but said his actions had made a violent game even more so. Matthews was convicted and fined $1,000.
The opposition had already broken his nose to ensure justice was served, Aussie rules style.
99% of VFL footballers live by the code that if you live by the sword, you die by the sword, and you don't make any complaints.
Come on! Get it off him, Brown!
The coaches are hired and fired by committee because the teams are operated as clubs. At each team's social club, followers can drink and donate to the cause, all with the same beer.
We're a part of the team. We're not part owners. We're here to encourage, do what we can, you know.
Most of the clubs operate in the red, but they still resist takeover efforts by wealthy individuals and corporations, lest egos and business get in the way of sport.
3,500 AGC.
The league's leading scorer is also a stockbroker, but Simon Beasley doesn't stop speculating on Saturdays. Aussie rules is the rare sport where players can bet on themselves and their games.
Everyone in Melbourne, of course, in the country has a team, and as a result, they like to back up their opinion with money. And of course, I don't mind having a bet, and I've always back up my opinion.
Mark Jacko Jackson is footy's clown prince. He has parlayed his football notoriety into a career as an Australian pop star and used car dealer. His individuality has gotten him traded 4 times and suspended so often that now he only makes cameo appearances.
I dance around the goal square like Swan Lake. Have you seen Swan Lake? Like this. Everybody loves me, you know. All like that sort of stuff. Then the ball comes down. There it comes, and there I grab it. So I walk back, and I walk back a little bit more, and the crowds are packed. So I line the ball up like this, and I don't even look, I'm that smart, I just go bang, and it goes through for a goal. Now, how good's that, eh? Then I walk back to the goal post, and I headbutt it like this, and then I clap my hands and say, how good am I? And that's what it's all about, Aussie rules football, entertainment.
Trailing the entire game, the Footscray Bulldogs still believe they can upset the Hawthorn Hawks in the final moments of play.
The only way it's going to bloody happen is if you bloody hold your man and don't get carried away. Captain does the bloody same. Wagon, you can contest everything that's in our forward.
The championship hopes of both teams will be resolved in one last desperate struggle in the mud. on this day, the spirit of Kazali is with the Bulldogs.
We made it! Our first real deal!
Now if we can just make our flight.
When you're hot, you're hot.
Ages, we got red hot cars, red hot cars. We got a red hot crew, we got a red hot crew. We got super value rates, we try harder to. Ages, we're red hot for you.
And how good a deal did we get on that car?
When you're hot, you're hot.
Avis, red hot.
At Sheraton, we know that little things mean a lot. That's why just one number gets you reservations at any Sheraton in the U.S. or 63 countries worldwide.